Alright, well, welcome back. Let's just get started with the Awakening Wood. Okay. Well, unfortunately I can't skip this tutorial now. I didn't press plus start enough, or fast enough. But yeah, he's just saying purple Pikmin are in the ship. They don't exactly have an onion. And let's get red Pikmin out. So, you know, we are starting off pretty open. We have a whole new world to explore. Oh, I forgot to keep in mind this cutscene. I've had this cutscene make me lose a Pikmin before, because it disrupts everything. But good thing, the Pikmin actually crushed the Bulborb uh, during the cutscene. So I'm just gonna start by kind of growing our numbers a little bit. While we start today, and as you can see, purple Pikmin just absolutely destroy our enemies. Like, no wonder reds become pretty obsolete after a while, just because just about all of the combat you're gonna need to do can be taken care of by purples. They have a homing attack, which is very useful for crushing small enemies, and and real quick, flowered Pikmin. We'll get to that in just a second. But purple Pikmin can home in on enemies, and their ground pound kind of like stuns larger enemies, or all enemies, in fact. So yeah, they're pretty great at combat. And flowers, when your Pikmin get flowered by nectar, or sometimes by time, they gain speed, they gain attack power, and they become more coordinated, as I've heard before. You'll see on occasion that Pikmin will trip and fall or stumble, which can lead them to like be in a dangerous situation. That typically happens with flowered Pikmin. And in terms of Pikmin we're not actually gonna need that many of each type of Pikmin. There's one exception to this, but two, I would say. But I mean, we'll get to that. But yeah, it's kind of surprising how much you can do with a smaller squadron of Pikmin. You know, I've seen speedruns of Pikmin 3 where, or at least runs of Pikmin 3 where they use as few Pikmin as possible. It's kind of crazy to me. But, you know, we'll probably see examples of that throughout the playthrough. Let's attack this guy. He drops nectar from an egg. So we're gonna have these Pikmin attack this wall while we collect these strange berries. We're gonna see them a lot, and you're gonna want to do that throughout the entire game. They're endlessly useful. I don't think I can skip this. So it tells us to bring more. And I mean, we're currently bringing 10, so it should be enough. and he's saying we get a spicy spray. So yeah, 10 berries will get you 1 spicy spray. This is a new mechanic from, or yeah, the previous game did not have this mechanic, and it comes back in Pikmin 3, where we can make sprays. We'll definitely get to its use eventually. We're gonna need it, but when we get there, I'll explain it. And that cutscene there was explaining that there are 100 Pikmin on the field, and therefore we can't have any more to control. Now, the numbers at the bottom, the first set is how many Pikmin are in our party with us. The next are the ones we've taken out, and then the last one is Pikmin generated, or total Pikmin generated. We can have more than 100 in that regard, but we can only have 100 Pikmin out on the field at once, which may seem odd, but that we only have 95 right now and not activated, but lots of mysteries we'll eventually find out. I don't think we need to take that back. We already have plenty of Pikmin. I'm gonna just go ahead and go to our next cave. I probably shouldn't skip that. The dialogue can be pretty funny. I just have a habit of doing that. Down to the whole beast. We're given a little fire symbol. That means there's gonna be fire hazards, and we didn't see that in the last cave. We're gonna have to deal with fire. These caves are not just full of enemies, but they're going to be full of hazards and traps. Actually, I don't know why I'm separating my Pikmin. Oh, so shearwigs, or not shearwigs, I think these are just shear grubs. The purple ones are male, and are the only ones that can eat Pikmin. The white ones are female and will not eat Pikmin. But yeah, that's the only threat on the floor. You don't even have to deal with all of them. Just the ones in your way. And I think that's a good thing we're going to need to take note of, especially if you want to try this yourself, is taking out all the enemies is never going to be necessary, or it won't always be necessary. It's actually a great way to avoid losing Pikmin, because you might be avoiding dangerous encounters that you never need to have made in the first place. And, you know, we'll be getting to more examples of that. A lot of this first few days and the first few caves are pretty linear, so we won't quite get to that. Things will open up quite a bit very soon. Alright. So, I don't think we've seen eggs before. We can crack them open with Pikmin, and they will pop out with various different things. Nectar is one of them. As time passes, we'll definitely see more things come from them. Let's separate our Pikmin, and I actually shouldn't have used that nectar, because we're going to need to flower up these purple Pikmin. I think my notes, this floor actually does not have any treasures. it would be normally hard to tell because you don't have any form of way to see how many treasures there are, or you don't get that noise when you're out of treasures if there's a fort without them. Let's see. Let's try and get them all. But yeah, no treasures here. Just getting some more purple Pikmin, which we're gonna want to do. We're gonna by far need them the most if we're gonna get every treasure in the game. And you're probably gonna want to get them anyway, just because of how good they are at combat. Alright. So, we have our first bit of fire hazards. We can take these out, and I would suggest doing them if you want to bring in purple Pikmin so they don't catch on fire. And also, we are not immune to fire, so you don't want your captains to take damage and run out of health. So we should probably take out these geysers for now. We have enough over there. But nothing too threatening. I mean, you can't lose red Pikmin on here at all. Because, you know, all there is fire and they're immune. The only risk here is bringing in purple Pikmin and possibly getting them hurt. That's it. Pretty simple fours early on. Little mahjong piece. Okay, it's almost there. These are the only two pieces. Look, little disk drive, I think. If I can recall, there was a system in Japan to play games, but I don't remember all the details, including, so this game will have a lot of artifacts and brands that you recognize, and a lot of cool little Nintendo references that you might not expect. I will definitely not know them all, but, you know. Let's see. Yeah, another floor where all there really is fire. We do have that Bulbor, but as you can see with these brand new purple Pikmin, if you start by throwing them first on tougher enemies, they're gonna get stun locked for just about the entire time they're alive, and that's all you're gonna really need to defeat them. Combat, I wouldn't say, I don't know, it's hard to say because it's easier in some aspects in this game, and harder in some aspects in this game, but purple Pikmin definitely do works on most normal enemies. And a playing card. Let's see, do we have a... Okay. I believe there's some eggs on this floor, so I want to get those to flower up some of these purples. When the purple... Oh! Those are mites. They cannot hurt Pikmin, but they will scatter them and scare them. Sometimes they crawl through the ground, sometimes they'll actually appear from eggs. And they can't hurt Pikmin. They just make them panic. And, you know, it's just more of a disruption, if anything. Oh, there we go. We got a potion from an egg. We're gonna skip that cutscene because it's not really necessary. And a cool thing with these potions is there's a little glitch where you can shove one captain into it, and then the other to get double the potions. You normally just get one. I will not be abusing this glitch, but I just want to show that off at the very least. Because I don't fault anyone for using it. Uh, you can get an infinite number of potions, it just takes more time to get more. And we're at sub-level 5, already more than double the previous dungeon. But this is it. And from now forward, all these final floors are going to have bosses. Now, if you played WarioWare at all, you've probably seen this guy before. But let's toss a Pikmin to wake it up, because it's sleeping. Or not. Hello? Come on. There we go. This is the Empress Bullbox. She's not really doing much right now. But when she does that, like, throw off, she will start to roll, and that will instantly crush your Pikmin. Key for this fight is just patience. Kind of throw him over her jaw, and after you've been attacking it for a little bit, I'm gonna just call him off. It's a great, like, habit is to call off your Pikmin before they get thrown off, so you have more control of where they're going. Because what she'll do is when she flings the Pikmin, she'll kind of fling them, like, to her sides, and that's how they get crushed. And with a lot of bigger fights or tough enemies, a giant key to doing this, playing this game well, is patience. Oh, I guess we're collecting her. And I love to decide the Pikmin world piece. So a cool little visual glitch. I love it so much. Yeah, she's really easy. Just patience when throwing Pikmin on her, and being wary of when she's about to throw them off. That dungeon went really fast. It is pretty nice. And look, it's a love tester. I believe Nintendo made these before they did video games, since they were mostly a toy company before they made video games. And this will be a treasure gauge, which is awesome. Like, great first upgrade to put in the first dungeon, or second dungeon. It's gonna be endlessly useful. And that's it. Really, really simple. Sorry. Yeah. So, oh, that was just a spider. Oh, oh man. Give me a second to do it. Oh god. It was just right next to me. Sorry about that. Yeah, so the first bit of the game is gonna be a little bit linear, and there's nothing really to change that. I think some speedrunners I've seen kind of sequence break things a little bit, but there's not much you can do. These easy dungeons you're always gonna be doing pretty quickly. Or not pretty quickly, you're gonna be doing them first. But things once again are gonna open up pretty soon. Just give it some time. Oh, sorry. I'm a little taken aback. I was not expecting that spider though. It was kind of big too. Kind of threw me off balance. But yeah, we're just gonna hop right into another dungeon. Oh, and I skipped it again. White Flower Garden. this is a little threatening because we don't know what... we don't have a way to deal with that last hazard. As you can see, it's poison. Or, you know, the little wall on the right had poison. It's poison. I guess it's a bit of a spoiler. But I wouldn't fret too much about that. Immediately with the sheer grubs, just more of them. Nothing too crazy. And as you've seen with a few enemies already, if a enemy gets a hold of your Pikmin, don't give up. Because if you defeat them early, or if you stun them, you can stop them from eating your Pikmin, and you can actually recover them. They will hop out of the enemy's mouths once they're defeated. Some enemies eat them a little too quickly for you to do that easily. Sheer grubs are pretty easy. Bulbwarbs are pretty easy. I don't remember the enemy of that one enemy's name, but the one with the purple shell. They take quite a while, and they won't always swallow your Pikmin if you kill them fast enough. But yeah, another really simple floor. Let's delve deeper. Oh, something I failed to mention on that last floor is there are no walls there. One of the ways your Pikmin can die, like no Pikmin has any chance against this, is you can have Pikmin get thrown off. And yeah, there's no way to deal with that. And I feel like that's a good thing to mention now, is because these enemies, these fiery blowhogs, only blow fire. They're no threat to you. Honestly, a bigger threat is taking them on and having them throw Pikmin off and into the pit. It's pretty easy to lose a Pikmin like that. So instead, I suggest you can just run around, find the treasure, and just take it back with you. Don't know where that other treasure is. Oh, they're both here anyway. So yeah, that's another one of those cases where just avoiding combat is the best way to lose Pikmin, because the enemies are either no threat or out of the way. Oh, I don't know, I'm punching him. I keep on forgetting that I'm not immune to fire. Oh, Dr. Peeper. And yeah, simple floor. We're really breezing through this, through these two caverns. Alright. Let's keep on going. Oh! A threat we can't deal with? No wonder we got a new type of Pikmin. These seem to be white. Not to spoil anything, but I presume these Pikmin might be able to deal with that new hazard. Just a hunch. I mean, I've also played this game before, but just a hunch. Look at these guys. I don't know if I played the cutscene for the purple Pikmin. I've been pretty inconsistent with them, but these are my favorite. They look swift. Entirely new type. They have red eyes. They're tiny. They have all kinds of properties. I think in general, like, this Pikmin has the most, like, abilities. One of them we'll actually never see, So not only are they immune to Pikmin, but they have some, not immune to Pikmin, it's dumb. Not only are they immune to poison, but they, if eaten, will like spew out poison and do a lot of damage to the enemy. It's kind of cool. You won't see it here, because I'm not gonna lose any Pikmin. Also, those red eyes let them see underground, and they can start digging up treasure before other Pikmin. There will be buried treasure, so I always suggest having white Pikmin with you in order to find any hidden underground treasure. Let's see. Do we have any of them with us? No. Okay. They are faster than the other Pikmin types. Not only when moving behind you, but when grabbing treasure, they will move it faster. Wait, we do. It's hard to see, but yeah, the white Pikmin are the fastest. They will just about always keep up with you. If you want to bring back something fast, I suggest using that. They're also small. They're really tiny. Even though we have one in our party, it's really hard to see. Oh, okay. I'm not sure if anyone else has noticed, but with Olimar and Smash, or Olimar and Alf, I think they've stretched up the white Pikmin models. I don't know, they all look at like the same height, and it looks weird for the white Pikmin because they're always like smaller. They just got weird proportions in the game. I think it's like only bothers me. Well, not just me, but like I don't think it's ever bothered any of my friends because I don't have many friends that play this game. I mean, there are exceptions. If you watch No, I'm BK, he's one of the first. Oh, I fell. He's one of my first friends who's ever like played or enjoyed Pikmin. But he doesn't play Smash, so I'm not sure if. Oh, okay, I'm just botching this. Commentary while playing games is hard. I don't know how people do this. I'm so frantic. I'm just gonna. Oh my god. God. No one should watch me play video games ever. I said I'm decent at Pikmin. I'm really not. Okay. There we go. But yeah, they stretch up the white Pikmin model, and to me it's always looked pretty weird. I have to deal with the poison. Look at that. Chapstick? Let's go chapstick. You're being a little lazy there, friend. So white Pikmin, I think they're overall mildly useful. I don't know. They have a bunch of like smaller abilities that like are each important at various times. I never carry that many with me, just because, you know, poison doesn't appear. It appears every once in a while, but like it's usually these breakable hazards, and you only need like a few Pikmin to deal with those, and then you need a few to find buried treasure. Nothing ever really too significant. Naturally, in my practice playthrough, I did the same with red Pikmin, because you don't really need them too much. I think there's one exception where you might want to have a lot of them, but that's another thing we'll get to. I don't want to spoil anything by talking strategy now, but yeah, I don't want to spoil the surprises this game has. It's got a lot of cool and evil shenanigans going on. Uh, so yeah, so for this final four, I'm just gonna bring purple Pikmin. Because, you know, boss combat is easier with just them. And look at that. Returning from the first game, it's the Burrowing Snaggerit. Also, assist trophy. I love that he's an assist trophy. It's awesome. So cool. But yeah, strategy with him is just to wait for him to bury himself and then come back up and kind of get stuck in the ground. And if you just throw purple Pikmin, that's it. It's crazy. It's so easy. Oh, that was a bit strange. So yeah, if he doesn't get stuck, I suggest just waiting, avoiding him and waiting for him to go back underground. Um, and I mean, that's just it with him. If you have to throw him at the head, uh, because that's where most of the damage comes from, because if you attack him at the body, he doesn't take nearly as much damage. And he goes back underground if he doesn't see Pikmin, or if he takes too much damage. So by doing the damage faster, it avoids him from eating Pikmin. It's really, I'm over explaining it honestly, because just waiting for him to get stuck and throwing purple Pikmin is all you need to do. It's so easy. So yeah, and he gave us a 5-man knapsack, which is kind of hilarious imagery. And all it lets you do is sleep, and Pikmin will carry you back to the ship. Not too useful, but I love it. I think it's a fun item to play around with every once in a while. Yeah, once again, super easy dungeon. But I wouldn't get too comfortable. Things aren't always going to be this easy. And it's easiest to lose Pikmin when you get comfortable and stop being cautious. But yeah, now that we have white Pikmin, I think we can now start taking on some more hazards that we weren't able to deal with. Just that poison. Now, I'm gonna split up the group so we can start farming for berries. It's hard to say how useful they are right now without showing you what they actually do. But I'm just gonna start building those up so we can use them while we take our white Pikmin to take out. You guys didn't see this earlier, but this poison wall. So I'm kind of debating trying to speed this up or cutting this out. I don't know, because with only 15 Pikmin, that's gonna take a second. Uh, uh, we'll see. I'll keep on commentating, but I'll try and fix this in post. Oh, so that one enemy that you may have seen earlier, you want to be wary of those flowers, because those flowers are their own species, but that enemy, if you see eyes there, that means he will pop up. If you walk over it, it's kind of cool trap enemy. Yeah, my strategy, purple Pikmin, but you kind of want to walk near them, kind of lure them out. When they pop out, they'll knock Pikmin over, so you don't want to like walk over them, because that's how he's gonna get Pikmin. Yeah. Once again, not too difficult of an enemy. Oh, there's our whistle. Second half of the globe is gonna give us more of the map. I wonder. Oh, it's also buried a little bit. I didn't remember that part. I suggest making this bridge because it's right back to going, or it goes right back to the camp. Oh, there we go. That's all it's gonna take. That's really beautiful to watch, honestly, with all the Pikmin. Also, I can reiterate that joke. It's not fucking flat. Flat Earthers, man. Even Pikmin 2 can prove them wrong. Alright. So it seems like we still have a little bit of the day left. I think we can use that to maybe grab another potion, and let's try and get that treasure while we're at it. Oh, it's also got a microchip. Alright, so I'm gonna split this. You guys need to step away from each other a little bit more. Right. I'm gonna have the team with the white Pikmin go separately, while these guys grab some potions, or some berries for potions. Oh, there's a iridescent flint beetle. If you throw a Pikmin directly on top of it, he will drop pellets, I believe. I don't really need to do that right now. Although they're pretty easy to hit with the purple Pikmin because they home. Oh, God. Little white Pikmin stuck. Oh, and they're glitch around a little bit. And spin? Spin! They're grooving, I love it. They're having a good time. And the purple's just dancing. They're just really giddy. But yeah, that's pretty much all we can take care of. While the day ends, I think we should just collect some berries for the future. And I can go over some mechanics about the nighttime and how that works. So yeah, it's almost sundown. And he's just gonna explain what I'm about to say. You leave each night, because it's very dangerous here at night, and any Pikmin that aren't with the captain or in that main kind of camp area, it's a little vague. So you might want to have all your Pikmin with your captain, but any of those Pikmin will get left behind. And it plays a sad little cutscene while they're just waiting, or they get left behind and a bunch of strong enemies come and eat them, which once again we'll not get to see because I'm not losing any damn Pikmin. Pikmin 3 does this mechanic way better by showing which Pikmin are in danger, and it gives you a little sight of where Pikmin need to be safe. They do so much in that game to improve the overall experience. That game is amazing. So awesome. a lot of progress was made that day. The music even signified that. It will change depending on how much money you made in a day. And we recovered so much of the debt. Oh, I guess the game just tells you what kind of stuff you'll encounter. I totally forgot about that. Well, I guess there wasn't much of a secret anyway. And also, the fact that it hints at 5 Pikmin. But if you've played Pikmin 1, you know what the rest is at this point. And the president is just telling us of more mechanics that we already know. So yeah, we've explored the Awakening Wood. We got done with 2 different caves. I think the best next option is starting off at the Perplexing Pool, because the area, like, the world's just getting more and more open, and we're almost to the point where we can just explore everything without any restrictions. We're getting there, and I think by the end of the next episode, we'll find all of the Pikmin, is my guess, and by then we'll be able to explore the whole world. But until then, please join me again next time, and thank you for watching.